Hey, everybody. So that's what we're looking at this week for Rancid. And we have our first song. And, of course, because I'm wearing a different T-shirt, but the same T-shirt, both a different T-shirt and the same T-shirt, with Anthony Martinez and Jason Kokel. That means that we're pre-recorded, so greetings from the past. We are going to do, actually, the one song that I feel is the most, oh, I know that song, out of the pack, because people don't necessarily catch the lyric where he says, the boy's a time bomb. Mm-hmm. So this is Time Bomb. This is probably the song that you most recognize. Which one of you fine note trackers tracked the notes?
Mr. Kokel.
Jason Kokel did. How's your upstrums? Doing pretty good?
Oh, yeah. You know, if they weren't, I wouldn't be here.
That's true. Yeah, it is part of the entrance exams. Yeah, yeah. Pretty much full on ska punk for this one. Anything that you want to impart upon us before we kick it off, or do you want to talk about it afterwards, or just let the song speak for itself?
Yeah. Well, Rancid changed how they play this song in a live setting over the years. On the recording as well as early videos, they were playing all of the chords in open position, which isn't as easy to get the ska rhythm, which is usually a mute on the downbeat and everything's on the upbeat, which for bar chords it's very easy. But it's clear that they were playing these as open chords then, and it's a lot harder, and maybe that's why eventually they said, hey, let's just put it here.
Did you guys know?
After some point, who knows? But it's interesting. So it takes a little more work to get it to sound right. But a lot of what somewhere on the forum, Jared had posted a pretty good bit of info about how it's done, where it's not just fret hand muting and doing it. It's more of like you're muting with the heel of your hand. So it's almost like you're stopping the sound, and that's really what part of the sound is. You're hitting the pick,
that percussive stroke.
Yes, as the meat of your hand, of your picking hand, is going down on the strings, and that's pretty much the main technique in the whole song, is doing that and then playing a chord on the upbeat and just going forever. So it does take a little bit of work to get it right, to get all of the strings to stop ringing. You have to kind of just get used to doing that over and over again. And
sure.
So, and we did, so there's a brief guitar solo, and then we also, for the lead path, we arranged the organ solo for guitar, because it's a single note line, and it laid on the instrument really well, and it was a nice little bonus. So.
More notes.
More
Value for your money here for Rocksmith 2014. And Anthony, you're tackling one of the 3 impossible bass charts. I mean, they're not impossible, but these bass lines move.
They do. This one in particular is a lot of fun to play. It's very melodic. The voice leading is fantastic. But it is challenging in that it doesn't really let up. You're constantly playing, and it's great playing by the bassist.
Well, give us some great playing, won't you?
Oh, I'll try.
All right. So this is Time Bomb by Rancid, one of the 4 songs. One of the 3 songs we're playing today, but one of the 4 songs in the Rancid song pack. And yeah, I would normally be checking the chat, but I'm guessing that other people are checking the chat as we speak. I wonder if I have any weird little...
If you wanna make a move, then you better come in. It's just ability, the reason that we're so thin. Living and dying, and the stories that are true. Sink into a collapse, knowing when you're through. Black coat, white shoes, red and Cadillac, yeah. The boys are time bomb. Black coat, white shoes, red and Cadillac, yeah. The boys are time bomb. I was back in the hole when they got him living like a rapper. He's smarter than that. Nine lives like a cat. 15 years old, take them to the youth authority home. First thing you learn, you gotta make it in this world alone. Black coat, white shoes, black and Cadillac, yeah. The boys are time bomb. Black coat,
That bass line looks super fun, dude.
the boys are time bomb. Now he's flying out, he got a free, he got a coat, got a car. He's running when you're running, members from the bar. He's paying people, he's getting deep in. Whatever he got for wanting, you know that kid's a creepin'. Black coat, white shoes, black and Cadillac, yeah. The boys are time bomb. Black coat,
I should point out to anybody who's new to Rocksmith, what you're seeing is these songs dialed up to 100% difficulty. but 100% difficulty is not the default. It will start out at whatever difficulty it feels you can handle. If you've never played before, it'll start you pretty much at 0. If you've played a couple of other songs in the game and you've done fairly well at those, it will attempt to adjust a moderate starting difficulty. But all these notes will not be coming at you at once. The songs are individually leveled so that the difficulty ramps up dynamically based on how you play. The game is always listening and trying to keep you challenged without being overwhelmed. That's fun. Yeah, that looks like a great bass line. I will go and screw around with that one because that looks fun. And you both did quite well. Look at that. Anything else? I think that pretty much sums it up.
Yeah,
honestly.
yeah. If you're playing bass on this, I'd recommend stretching beforehand.
Yeah, because you move. And is this pick or is this not pick?
I believe it's fingered.
Yeah, it's fingered.
Oh, okay.
But I can't play this fingered. I'm not used to it.
Sure. There's so many people say, oh, a bass pick. Oh, even David Stevens made a joke about that last week. I'm one of those people that enjoys playing bass with a pick, especially when I want a sharper attack. Right. So with punk, it can go either way. Sometimes it's finger style, sometimes it's pick because they want that aggression. But in this case, yeah, do whatever's comfortable. The game just suggests. All right, well, let's throw it back to our first giveaway. We've got Ernie Ball gear to give away for bassists. In fact, we'll start that off with this. Now back to the future. Here we go. And wow, look at it! It just works that well. Hey, so let's do that first video, or first giveaway, and let's trim my mic a little bit. I'm super hot for some reason. I don't know why. Not for you. Well, yeah, not for you. Sorry. So yeah, let's do the first Ernie Ball giveaway. This is a bass. Oh yeah, maybe it's just that. Maybe it's just my headphones. Oh, there's the bass stuff.
My headphones are really loud too.
Are they? Okay, well we can adjust all that. Oh, but yeah. Well, now I can't hear anything, but that's all right. I'm going to assume that you can hear me, and this is what you can win. We've got 2 sets of Ernie Ball bass strings. And I think they're both the strings on the right-hand side. I think they're both regular nickel-wrapped slinky bass strings. Again, not something you need to change very often if you're a bassist, so you have plenty here. Oh, yeah, I bet you would like that, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of shenanigans.
Yeah, imagine. Just use your
here.
imagination to suggest what I'm asking Jared if he wants to plug in. Hey, yeah. So you're going to get 2 sets of bass strings. You're going to get the lovely little collection of Wonder Wipes. This is a sampler pack. If you're not familiar with this, but you regularly say don't clean your strings or don't polish your guitar, and that's something that you would like to do because I strongly suggest it, why the Wonder Wipes are a great way to do that. So you'll get a little sampler pack of those to test them out. Plus a brand new strap. That's always good. A peg winder to make changing your guitar strings easier, not necessarily making your bass strings changing any easier. A dozen heavy picks, and then 3 of our highly coveted Rocksmith picks, which you could have gotten at our event this weekend.
And some people did.
Some people did. If you were in San Francisco, we sent out a blurb saying that we were going to be at the Steam Carnival at Pier 48 last week, and we were. It was this really great event aimed at families and kids to try to get them excited about science and math and stuff. It's STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's
plus
what it stands for.
art.
Plus A for art, and so they made it the Steam Carnival. It was an actual carnival with like carnival games and bands and Tesla coils and a dude that they set on fire, and Jared McAdams was there.
And Art Carney.
Yes,
They
he
could've
was.
made it
The shambling corpse of Art Carney was
Wait,
there.
he's dead?
Oh, yeah, very.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, sorry. But you can watch him in the Star Wars Holiday Special. It's okay.
Oh, yeah, he's the merchant.
Yes, he is.
He's like Chewie's friend.
Yeah, he talks about that rug, and he says, there's a little old lady on Corellia that made it by hand, solo, all by herself. It's like, oh, you just want to kill yourself. But in any case, we had a great time at the Steam Carnival. I'm going to post some photos of the event. I have not posted those yet on our Facebook page at Ubisoft Studio SF. I'm going to put them on the studio's photo gallery, but we did get to we got to introduce a lot of new people to Rocksmith, which was pretty great. We had a nun play Marvin Gaye, which was kind of awesome. We had a lot of kids that didn't weigh as much as the Les Paul that we brought. That was interesting to see very, very young kids play guitar. And of course, we had that sad little question. So when is this out?
When is this coming out?
This game that just celebrated its 2-year anniversary.
Amazing technology.
Thank you. And you know what? We launched with 700 games in the library. You know. So yeah, it was. Games, songs, games. It's all the same.
Each
to
song
me.
is its own game.
Kind of is. Jared McAdams, hi, and thank you for joining us.
Hi, and you're welcome.
Do you know what happened at the top of the show? Nobody did. It's lost for the series.
Yeah, something, I don't know.
So, for what it's worth, sorry about this, folks, but when we came out, when we started broadcasting a full 5 minutes before the stream actually picked it up, we have no idea why that happened, but everything was just fine, and it just sort of clicked in, so we got to blame Twitch on that one. You didn't miss anything.
I blame myself.
Yeah, it was me introducing myself. I'm Dan Ammer, community developer for Rocksmith 2014. That's David
the
Stevens.
Worst part of the show.
It is. It's the part that nobody really cares about or needs to see.
Yeah. What they love is our banter
raffle.
while we don't play things.
That's true. David Stevens, our QA ninja, was also here for the opening, and so that's all you missed, really. We just said what we have coming up, such as that giveaway, and we have other giveaways coming up later in the show. So don't freak out. There will be opportunities to win more. Freak out, but okay, yeah, fine, okay. Freak out in the comfort of your own home, but don't come here and freak out. That's all I'm asking.
That's my job.
You joined us for our second song.
I have,
and you have a capo on your guitar.
I do,
which means that song is probably Fall Back Down.
Well, it means I'm going to have to take my capo off in order to
show
to tune.
Oh, yes, you are.
Because we're not coming from a capo tuning, so it's gonna. Oh, you already did it?
Oh, yeah.
You guys are genii.
Well, we were trying to be efficient, and we were so efficient we decided to just edit out the first 5 minutes of the show, too. We also have a trailer. You missed most of the trailer, but you can, if you'd like to see all 4 songs that are in the Rancid pack, go to our YouTube channel, /Rocksmith Game, and you can watch that trailer. We'll show it again a little bit later in the show anyway. Did you note track Fall Back Down?
Yes, I did, Dan.
How did that go?
Well, it was neat.
It went 1, 2, 3, 4.
I was like, man, listen to all them notes.
Yeah, you like that?
And I was like, I'm gonna put all them notes in the song so people can play them.
You're doing your Tennessee accent because you're wearing your Vols orange today, aren't you?
I know it.
Oh boy! So, any advice on playing Fall Back Down other than play it really fast because that seems to be the Rancid way?
Yeah, and they do fun things in all of these songs. They just have a lot of energy. It's all up tempo, peppy Le Pew kind of stuff.
I want something snappy.
He knows how to get me every time.
You will never ever not get a smile by quoting that thing you do in this office, just so you know. If you want to impress everybody, chapter and verse. Everybody here knows it.
Yep.
Especially you.
Especially me.
I've never seen it.
We should have a party just to expose you to this wonderful film, but you'll have to clamp everybody's mouths shut
I like
because
I use the word expose.
Well, yeah, because once you're infected with that thing you do, that's everything. I don't know. I highly recommend the film. I think it's a lot of fun. But
yeah.
Has nothing to do with Fall Back Down. Would you like to play Fall Back Down?
Sure. The only thing I was going to talk about, I'll talk about it after.
No, you can talk about it now if you want.
Well, just there's a neat little solo that he does in there that's all in parallel thirds, which is just sort of going up the scale, and that one's going up that part of the scale, and the vamp.
Oh,
something crashed.
Something crashed. Well, I'm certainly glad you did tell us. Yes.
So this is going
up.
up.
What do you mean scale? What does that mean? Parallel third as opposed to perpendicular thirds?
This is all in E major.
Okay.
Which is the key of E, as we all know, which includes the notes E, F sharp,
you are really going to go for this.
A, B, C sharp, D sharp, and then another E.
We rebooted the computer right before we did this. Swear to God. Okay.
So
when you say parallel thirds, what do you mean?
Understanding, knowing where these, how to do these harmonized thirds in a key is a pretty neat thing to do, and you get a lot of mileage out of that in this song. So he's basically using these for.
We're still backwards. I can't figure what the hell is going on.
Just look at where the camera is. Don't look at the monitor. Just look at the camera. So you've got these 4 double stops that all sort of fit in the key, and then he's just kind of noodling up and down through those, playing some patterns. Why is that reverse? This
you know what?
Gremlins come in.
It's
here
absolutely that
every week
This sounds stupid, but you use the term double stops, and we've been using this the whole time that we've been streaming for 18 months.
Yep.
We've never actually defined that a double stop is just playing 2 notes at the same time, correct?
2 notes at the same time. It comes from the world of a violin, where a stop is when you stop the string with your finger, and if you stop 2 strings with your fingers, that's a double stop. We use it more generally here to just talk about anytime you play notes on 2 different strings at the same time.
That's awesome.
And there are multiple lessons on this topic in Rocksmith 2014, available at finer retailers.
Please list. You
can
can take us off the close-up cam. I think we're good.
So you'll see that part of the song. He does it once in the. Hey, hello.
Hi.
Oh, what? That was a cool transition, man.
Pody's been having fun building in wipes and things.
Right. So watch for that. It happens once in the middle of the song, once at the end of the song, and then there's another kind of single notey solo when it kind of goes into C# minor, which is the relative minor of E major.
I look forward to the backtrack spotlight on this song.
Yeah.
Sometime soon.
6 months to the day.
Yeah. And this was actually we had Ryan DeBolt down to play this. You guys may know our
hard.
He was not able to join us today.
He's not the only one who bailed hard.
Yeah, we have a special substitute player later on in the show because one of the note trackers was one of the note trackers was ill and took it. It is that time of year where everybody gets sick all at once.
So many sick people.
Yeah. And they're still employed here. Are we close to being ready?
I'm ready.
No.
Oh, because we're in single player mode, and we got to make sure that everybody's.
This is great
here,
TV.
we can just do
What
this.
else? What else? I see Obama's in the news again.
Can you? Do you have?
one.
Do I need a different thingy?
I've given up. We're swapping cables now, which of course you can do with the button that we're hovering over, but we didn't do that. Okay, there we go. We're live. We're ready to do this. Okay, when do we start broadcasting, Brian? Just let me know so that I can get ready.
When we're on the air. we'll come up with some real things.
Oh, good
to
Lord.
say.
It's all over. Forget it. I'm leaving now for Thanksgiving vacation. Forget it. Hey, there we go. Okay, so we're going to play the second of our 4 songs now that we've gotten over our technical problems. And thank you. I'm going to take a look at the chat. I'm sure it's all very dismissive in telling us that we don't know
I like it.
how to do a real internet show. But
Oh.
remove your capo prior to tuning. We were too ready.
You were too ready.
We were too prepared for you. So yes, this is one of the songs that requires a capo. There's a handful of them in the game. Fleetwood Mac is one. I know Tom Petty has a capo. Social Distortion. Oasis has a capo.
Rolling Stones.
If you don't have a capo, which is this little spring-mounted doohickey that basically temporarily changes the key of your guitar, you put it on the 4th or the 5th fret or whatever, and then it changes all the strings without you having to retune. We have a goofy little helpful video that explains how to make your own capo out of a pencil and rubber bands if you just want one right now. But we do recommend getting a real one. You cannot get Rocksmith t-shirts, cyclist. I'm sorry. They're not for sale. You will have to mug Jared. Literally take the shirt off his back to get a... Oh, God. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. Apologies. I was insensitive. Now I feel like I have to tell the story. Some of our employees were recently mugged. It was pretty crappy. And now I feel like a heel. I should. It's fun.
It's fun. You can do that all day long with other shapes. Played over a lot of different chords.
our Luxia Pedals wants to request Freebird. You're a little late. It's been available for 3 years.
Very first DLC.
Check out our DLC library. There's a full list over at Rocksmith.com. You click on the music tab. You can get a complete list of all 700 songs that are currently available in the game, and we keep adding more. Just like we added 4 brand new Rancid songs this week. Brand new to us. Brand new to our library.
If I fall back down, you're gonna let me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. If I fall back down, you're gonna let me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. If I fall back down.
If you are new to the show, Marluxia Pedals may be a new viewer. Hi, Marluxia. What we do every week is we do 3 songs from our current DLC offering, because we put out fresh DLC every week for Rocksmith 2014. And then we also do a backtrack spotlight, where we take a look at a song that you may already own, or may not have even realized is available in the game, because that is a pretty large library. And we play that live in the air, and we have a little insight on our forums about it. We'll get to that after our half-point break here, and after our next giveaway. We have a giveaway coming up soon, too. That is fun. Wow, well done.
So
Were those... Now, I hope the internet got all of those germs right through the microphone into
no, it was all
into
for
the
you.
speakers.
It's all for you.
Thanks. I could use a week or 2 off.
Masterful performance.
Yes, you guys both did quite well. And David, you basically didn't play this ahead of time more than once, right? Or even that?
Once.
Just once. Thank you for jumping in.
You
because
are gifted beyond your appearance.
It's all the bass. It had nothing to do with me.
it's all the Gibson bass. It's all the beautiful
Yeah.
Explorer bass.
It really is nice, and we had both of these guitars, and
Yes.
yeah, these are the 3
These
guitars
are the 3 guitars that you
we
could
had
have
at
played.
the Steam Carnival. People like 5-year-old kids got to play these
I know.
sweet guitars.
Like, yeah, here's a $1,000 guitar. Oh, you're 6. You've never touched one before. Smart choice by me to bring some of the most expensive, valuable instruments in the office.
But man, they loved it. They
Yeah.
were like, I mean, these are people who've like never touched a guitar, much less a super high-end guitar. So there was something really special about that for a lot of these people. Like,
Yeah.
wow, it feels nice. I mean, this is a well-made guitar, just it's nice to hold in your hands.
2 of the people that were there when Greg and I were working on Saturday, one guy came up and he wanted nothing but down-tune heavy stuff. Yeah. And he got paired up with just a random like weekend rock and roll dad, and he was like, "I'll play anything." And this guy's like, "Let's do Death Clock." And I'm like, "We're not going to tune down to C standard. Pick something in E, you know."
Yeah.
And so he played some Pantera, and he played some Anthrax. I felt so bad for like Weekend Warrior Dad because he wound up doing Got the Time, and this kid's like happy as hell. And I'm just like, but remember, if you play at home, you can play whatever songs you want. We have a lot. We've got strumming, so we got Bob Dylan.
Yeah. Middle of the road. as
Yeah,
they
right
say.
in the middle of the road is where you
Hall
can
&
be if you
Oates.
want. Hall & Oates. We've got I keep forgetting by Michael
Hall
McDonald,
and
man.
Or Oates.
So yes,
Pina
that's
Colada
cool.
song.
Oh yes.
Escape. I
So
call
many
it,
things. I mean, hey, the end
by
of the year is
Rupert
coming
Everett,
up.
I think.
Rupert Holmes. Rupert Holmes. Rupert Everett.
Fine.
I believe he was in
Different-
4 weddings and a
different
funeral.
guy.
But that's okay.
Which is coming up next.
Yeah, 4
here
weddings
on
and funeral.
QVC.
Yeah.
Oh, the funeral's happening right now.
Yeah, the funeral.
yeah,
We've
we're
kind
all
of
dying.
we're this show. You know what? Let's take a half-hour break. We're at the halfway point of our stream.
Yeah.
We'll come back with the backtrack spotlight. While we're away, we'll do a giveaway so that you can win. We have 5 codes for all of this Rancid DLC, so we'll get 5 winners now for Steam, whether you play on Mac or PC. This code will work. Jason Paradise will tell you what you need to do in order to win, and Jason Paradise will also be looking for your information over the Twitch private message network to make sure that you get the code if you are a winner. We still have some more Ernie Ball gear to give away later on in the show, but let's take a brief break. We'll get all of our crap back together in this room and take a look at one of the success stories from the 60-day challenge. We really do believe that if you play Rocksmith for an hour a day for 60 days, they don't have to be consecutive days, just put some serious time into it, and after about 2 months of time, you would be amazed at the progress you can make. And these people were. So here's one of their stories, and we'll be back shortly. Thanks for tuning in.
My name is Ross. I am 23, and I am from DC. Music, just in general, has like a huge impact on my life. When I did first pick up the guitar, just to try to see if I could learn something, turned out I couldn't learn it, so then it just kind of dwindled away. Nice. Tuned up. The first day I was playing, it was like this foreign object. Not a good start. I thought, maybe I'd be a little bit better, but no, I'm at like ground zero right now. I'm having a little bit of trouble gauging the distance between frets. I'm getting to a really comfortable spot now to where I can see, I can feel where the frets are. My techniques are down, my chords are down, tremolos, bends, slides, all that stuff is down. I got it. I've been playing Rocksmith for 45 days now. There are songs that I was struggling with in their first week that now I'm just like, this is easy. I'm really happy with where I've gotten to in the past month and a half. I'm playing Walk This Way by Aerosmith a lot, Everlong by the Foo Fighters, and You Really Got Me by the Kinks. Nice and Sidonia, I just kind of started. I've just been practicing these 4 songs a lot, so it is fun getting to the point where I can play them without the game. I can play them if I were plugged into my own amp. It feels really good to be at the finish line, just to kind of look back and look at all my progress. I know that I'm going to be practicing every day, even after this challenge is over, even though now I don't even have to. It's part of my life now. I know that I'm walking away with a newfound talent, a newfound gift, and it's nice. It feels good.
Seriously, that guy got good. He plays Walk This Way better than I play Walk This Way, and I've been trying it far longer than he has. My name's Dan Amrick. I'm the community developer for Rocksmith 2014. Hi, everybody, and this is Sam Schwartz. He is one of our fine note trackers here at the studio. You know what? Can I get you to jump over to the other the other chair?
Give me just
because I realize nobody can see my bass at all this week,
not good.
and I'd kind of like to show that off because we're at the Backtrack Spotlight, and I don't normally write these, but because usually the Backtrack Spotlights deal with sort of musical techniques or musical theory or how a song is constructed. And this week they let me do it, and so I said, ooh, and so I talked about effects that are used, because Black Hole Sun has some pretty distinctive sounds to it.
Yeah.
And it uses it uses wah during the solo, which I didn't mention in the article. And there is an article about this song that's up at our forums at rocksmith.com. If you go into the DLC section, you'll find it. But I called out 2 effects that you may or may not have heard of, and one of them is a Leslie speaker, which is a rotating speaker used for organs. If you put that up really high, that gives you that swimmy sound that goes through the verses of this song. And there's more information about that. But the other effect is here at the opening, that note that never seems to decay. It just keeps going, and it just kind of keeps sliding back and forth. And Sam goes, "Oh, yeah, that's an EBow, dude." And I'm like, "What's an EBow? I've heard of an EBow, and that's an EBow." So do you want to do close-up cam for this? Do you want to show what it looks like?
I think we should do it maybe after the song,
okay,
so people have like a context, and then we can be like, "Hey,
sure,
this is why it does this thing." So yeah.
Okay, so the opening of this song is played with a handheld effect called an EBow. There's really kind of nothing else like it. but we'll get into it after we play it. So this is Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden. This came out earlier this year, back in January 2015. So this is available as DLC, for all platforms, and that's pretty cool. So we can do this to this.
Forgive me, I don't use these too often.
No, that's all right. No,
my friend Chris's, and he was like, I just pulled this out of the closet, and I was like, and I was like, I had to use it for a show. I had to use it for Lizzie. They were like, yeah, so you have to use an EBow for this show. And I was like, oh. And I had to remember how to actually use it.
Right.
And it's very strange, but we'll go through.
Do you want to explain what Lizzie is while we get into the song?
Yeah, sure. Lizzie was a musical based on. I played in a rock musical. I think that ended. When did it end? It ended in mid-October, and it was a musical about the first axe murderess, if you will, Lizzie Borden, who chopped her family to little bits. Allegedly, I guess
it's a family show.
It's a family
she murdered
her
family.
She murdered her family. So, and her family actually showed up. Like her distant relatives from New York, showed up. They were like, "Yeah, we're like the Bordens," and we were like, "What the f? Dude? The Bordens are here."
I'd like to apologize.
Yeah, we were like,
she doesn't come off looking so well after this.
Well, she didn't get all of them. You know, I mean,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
Point Bordens.
Yeah, but it was cool. It was a really cool rock show. Very challenging. Lots of fun.
And you played an EBow.
And I got to use an EBow. I got to play with the great Brendan West, who rarely comes out of his hole to play guitar, but I got the honor of doing that with him.
All right.
So,
well, let's play it, and we'll start off with an EBow effect, and then we'll get into some Leslie, and we'll explain all of that fun stuff
and
as
I'll
we
nail
go.
the solo 100%.
I'm sure you will.
Mm-hmm.
And a little bit later on, we still have another giveaway for you, and we will be doing some Q&A after the song, so if you have questions, prepare them, get ready.
Right,
we will attempt to answer as many as we can. That's so neat.
It's super cool.
In my eyes, in this pose, in disguises no one knows, has the face, lies the
Harmony in this song is so
It's all right. It's par for the course today, man. It's fine. We don't expect you to play perfectly. Neither does Rocksmith. I mean, this whole thing is about learning guitar, and you guys are constantly jumping around to different songs here in the office anyway. So
yeah, just be, I know I'm gonna get guilt tripped by the guy later. Decent
I do fear that a lot of people may not have played this song because it does require an alternate tuning. This is a drop D song, and it's tuned up to A445. I know some people are kind of allergic to playing things that are outside of E standard, but it is worth twiddling the little tuner knobs because you can get some great experiences, some great sounds, and really learn how different songs are constructed. Sometimes the tuning has something to do with that. Go for it.
it?
You said 100%.
I got it. We're good. I'm confident.
Very approachable on bass.
Yeah.
I think last time we played this on the show, when this DLC was new, I was also playing bass on it. Because I went back to practice it, saw that I had gotten 93%. Yeah, I was like, okay.
You might have just played it just to play it.
I have a dim memory of playing it on the stream. But if I do better than 93%, then I've learned something. There it goes, I'll be lucky if I get 91 now. He's kind of vamping there and just riffing.
Yeah, he's kind of just doing whatever. This
It's so great.
so nasty. Oh my goodness. It's like the grunge chord.
What chord was it?
If you look it up in the chord dictionary, it's like a G runge. I think that's what it's called.
Well done.
Yeah. No, it's like an F. It's like an F5 with a sharp 5, sharp 4, and a 13 on it. It's just very strange. It's like.
Does it make you feel uncomfortable when you play it?
No.
Like, because grunge is supposed to be a little unsettling.
Yeah, I mean, I love that chord. I think it's super badass. It's just like.
Oh, that's
Just like, whoa!
yeah, it's lovely.
We were trying
The
to
notes
figure
come from all the wrong angles.
I think Jason was doing the transcription review for it, and we were just like looking at each other like, what is going on? This is so cool.
Well, do you want to show us the magic of that EBow? Because you heard it, and it hopefully it sounded different to you compared to.
So here it is. This is the EBow, ladies and gentlemen.
This is the
right
EBow.
here.
Oh, wait a minute. Hey, Brian, I'm sorry. We need to.
Mr. Pody. So
Yeah, he's multitasking. Give him a second.
So basically, this is a little machine here, and I want to say it's a magnet. I'm not exactly sure. I think Brian Pody actually knows how it works probably better than I do because he knows about.
It does create a little electromagnetic field.
It creates a field, yeah. And
Between the string and the pickup. So you hold in your right hand instead of holding a pick, you put it right over the string.
Yeah,
and then
what it does, if you hold it over the string like so, it actually vibrates the string automatically.
For you.
And then you can just kind of sit here.
Listen to that. It's still,
you can do
still
all sorts
goes. Yeah.
It's really cool.
It does create infinite sustain, which is what he's doing in this case. I mean, you can do.
Yeah.
It's called an EBow because it also lets you sort of do, like violin and cello style effects with a little practice. You can do stuff to make it sound a little bit more like a synthesizer. Or this is a $100 gadget, mind you, but this has been around for like 20, 30 years. And it's been on a lot of recordings that you may not have realized it was on. That's awesome. You can do full-on theremin at this point.
Yeah, it sounds like a theremin. So it's a really cool thing. Nothing sounds quite like it. You can't really. The only thing that actually. So Brendan had a cheater pickup on his guitar that actually does exactly what this does. It's like a sustainer.
A sustainer? Yeah. Fernandez, I believe, is famous for that.
Yeah. So he chucked one of those in his LTD or whatever, and so he had EBow parts too, and he played them with the sustainer pickup, which was really cool. But sometimes he would forget to turn it off, so everything would sustain. So it was a fun show.
Well, yeah, not that we're endorsing anything, but if you're curious about the EBow, go to EBow.com. That's where they have information. They have list of actually recordings that have used it. So if maybe you have something that you're aware of, or that you already own that you didn't know that was what causes that sound, it's EBow. And they have some demos there and stuff like that. But yeah, you can get these at just about any music store. You can get them at Amazon, all that kind of stuff. But again, it does one thing very specifically that only like guitar hardware, like there's no stomp box that I know of that does EBow sounds.
I can't think of
but
one.
Like the sustainer pickups are similar. They're doing the same thing where they generate a little.
Does the exact same thing, yeah. But I've never seen a pedal that does that.
Yeah, but this you can actually move toward and away from the pickup, and you can sort of do volume effects and things like that too. There's all kinds of. This was all on their website too.
Cool.
So,
Yeah.
Sorry, I said that we would do some Q&A. Sam, are you open for some Q&A?
Sure, I'm down.
I do want to do a little old business first. And if you guys want to, Anthony, if you want to come on up and get A, roped into answering some questions possibly, but B, also we'll calibrate the guitars and make sure they're working right. So last week we released Hysteria by Def Leppard, and it worked great on 5 out of 6 platforms, but there was some weird bug, and we now suspect 2 bugs working together that made people not be able to download that song on Xbox One. It was specific to Xbox One. We did everything we could. We went to Microsoft. They said, okay, cool, we fixed it. And it didn't fix it. So we had to work with them for a couple extra days to get it to work. This morning, I'm happy to say that it did finally go through. So if you have not downloaded Hysteria on Xbox One and you wanted to, or you bought it and it didn't download, try it again. Should work fine. We tried it here in the studio. It worked aces, and that was after we heard other people saying that it worked for them, too. So thank you for the patience. Again, when stuff like that goes wrong, when it goes wrong on the Xbox side, there's limited amounts of stuff that we can do to help other than give them information and say, please, techs over there, help us. And they did, and they thought they had fixed it more than once. So, that happens. Welcome to life in the big city. Everything is live. Let me see what else we got. Well, let me see if I can pick out some questions from here. We have some talk of Tennessee and California in various states. Yeah, questions. Hysteria ensued. Haha. Yeah, there were some people that were actually super angry about the Hysteria bug, and I just had to say we're working with Microsoft to fix it. We're doing what we can, but we're not. We don't have full controls of all of the things going on behind the scenes. We provide the content. I always say it's sort of like, like Coca-Cola makes the fizzy beverage and then they drop it off at 7-Eleven, but we can't tell you when they open the doors or where it's in stock near you. We don't have that kind of access. We don't know why it's warm from this 7-Eleven, but from this grocery store it's cold. It's like that's kind of like, well, how come this DLC doesn't work? Don't know. Like when we gave it to them, it worked fine. It may be something on their side. So, again, we have relationships with these companies and we're constantly working with them to get her done. And we get it done. Let's see. Oh, here we go. What else do we have? ETA for Liberace DLC, says Bitspiel. I think right after we do the Moody Blues DLC. There are certain artists that constantly get brought up as jokes or wishes that people don't understand. What are we doing?
I'm going to check that bass real quick.
You're going to... Oh, okay. Hit me, Jared. You got a good one.
Oh,
womp.
Sorry.
Everything is broken. Let's just start the whole damn thing again.
Any tips for bending above the 15th fret? Somebody can't get any sound out of it.
Oh, Anthony, Sam, you guys both bend strings with aplomb.
I was going to say that might be it sounds like there's something wrong with their action.
Not sure if anybody heard the question because you weren't on a mic. Your peanut gallery mic is all the way over there. I'm having trouble. Somebody says they're having trouble bending above the 15th fret. Conklin J08091. He says he's actually not getting any sound out of it. And yeah, that does sound like what we call a tall fret. Generally, your frets need to be all sort of crowned and leveled. It is possible sometimes that the frets might be different heights. And if that happens, if you play a note and you get above a certain a fret that it doesn't sound right, or it just doesn't sound at all, we call that choking out. It's just because the frets themselves are choking the note. That is one for your local guitar authorities. Please contact somebody at a local guitar shop, somebody who can do a setup for you. It can be fixed very easily. Sometimes they file it down a little bit, generally filing and then crowning the frets so that they're nice and rounded and smooth. You can do that to any guitar, and even guitars that come straight from the factory sometimes don't have their frets properly dressed.
Yeah.
It might cost you $50, $75, $100, depends on how fancy you want to get. I actually had a setup done to my Les Paul once that was $250, and because robots did everything, I'm not kidding. I had it plecked in one of those pleck machines, and it was amazing. Like, you could watch this thing go through, and it did like a 2-hour setup automatically. Yeah, it played pretty much beautifully. Okay. I mean, mind you, I have then also had $35 setups that were just as good.
That's what I was gonna say.
But if you have a guitar that's super difficult, like you can never just get it dialed in, and that was my problem. Is I just felt like I can't ever really get this Les Paul dialed in the way that I want it, and that's why I was like, what the hell? I'll have it plecked and see what it does.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else do we got? Do you guys think that Storm20200 says, do you guys think you'll do band-themed games like the Beatles Rock Band or Guitar Hero Metallica? No, I would not. We are not currently looking for exclusive artist things. Instead, what we'd like to do is when we get the opportunity to get big bands, like we did with Jimi Hendrix, we were like, let's go big. Let's do a dozen songs. So rather than dedicate a song around one artist, because you know that there are some people that feel really strongly about an artist like Jimi Hendrix and go, that's the greatest guitarist in the world for me. It's all I ever want. And then there's other people like, I have no interest in that. And then we wind up just cutting off all those people that would normally find a game that has a little something for everybody. To be of interest. So we are not really planning on doing that, but we would do large or going back multiple times to artists that seem very receptive or that people are really requesting a lot. Anybody that we can get, we will get. But yeah, like we did 7 Rage Against the Machine songs. We had a lot of requests for that. We did 12 Jimi Hendrix songs. I think we're up to 8 Foo Fighters and maybe 9 Foo Fighters songs at this point. So, you know. Oh yeah, we have quite a lot of Queen too. Same idea. So no, not it helps the artist in a case like that, but it doesn't really help us or our audience for learning different styles of music, especially if we can just bring a lot from that artist in the structure that we already have. Several people pointing out song requests and just saying, when is this artist coming out? Yes, please do use that song request app. We talk about this every week. I sound like a broken record, but by the way, records is what existed before MP3s.
They would break, actually.
Yeah, and they would break. They were actually fragile, and they could break. We do look at that data. We tally it every week. Actually, it comes up in meetings. We look at the results of that request app, and it does help us prioritize which songs we ask for from which artists and who we should be requesting. Anthony is very involved in our licensing process. You had a licensing call this week to find out what was new, and of the stuff that we've sent out and asked for requests from the artists, what's come back, what have they come back said yes, what have we come back said no, and all of that stuff goes back to our local meetings where we say, well, we should try to get this, or this person said no last year, can we go back to them now? Is this a good time? Right. Or they're about to go out on tour, maybe they'd be more interested in being involved with us because it would be sort of promotional for them in that way. So yeah, but that request app really, really does matter. Dan says, DM and TM. Dan, are the note trackers involved in the tone for a song, or is that a different group? Funny you should mention. We just mentioned Brendan West. We have a ninja who specifically focuses on tones. Not that you guys don't make recommendations or that you can't put these tones together, sure, but Brendan's got the ear, and we hire Brendan West, specifically an audio engineer, to go through and make sure those tones sound freaking awesome. And more often than not, they do. So yeah, the tone shaping is a different part of the process. The note trackers generally do the notes that you play, and Brendan makes sure that those notes then sound like you expect them to hear based on the original recording. Mm-hmm. So good question, and as I always like to say, it's a good question because I have a definitive answer. So yeah, that's always good.
Shane has made tones too, and I know that Ryan Pody has also
I think
made.
Jason has as well.
Yeah.
So a couple of us have actually made the tones too. Mm-hmm. I haven't been. I don't know if you have.
You're not talking on your mic at all, man.
Oh, sorry.
You got to put that baby.
Put it right.
Yeah, put it there.
Baby.
Extra Moist says, who have you asked recently that are not up for DLC right now and have been turned down? We don't actually reveal the artists that have definitively said no. I mean, we have had several, but there's pretty much no artists that you can think of that we haven't approached. But we're not into naming names because consider it from their perspective, right? Say that they see a tweet or they hear that we talked about them on a live stream, say, "Oh yeah, Josie and the Pussycats said no." Well, then it becomes like this nasty thing, like, "Oh well, if you're talking crap about us, why would we want to do business with you?" It's just not polite.
Well, it's also like I think a good way to think about it is like think about how many songs we have in this game and how long it might have taken just any one of these packs that have come out that are like, oh, I really like this particular pack. Think how long any one of those might have taken us, not just to track down, because not all of us are into a lot of the bands that have shown up in this game, and we've been exposed to a lot of new music just because. Sometimes we make recommendations as to what we want in the game, but a lot of things that have come our way are things that I didn't even know that I liked, and I was like, oh, this is really cool, and this is coming my way via like the request app, which is a big deal, and so forth, and it takes us a lot of time to not just process all those requests, but to make sure we get permissions to use that material. So just a thing to remember.
Takes so long.
And just remember, like, even if it hasn't come, I mean, we did get Hendrix, you know what I mean? Like that's a huge deal to get something like that. And
that was a long time in the works.
And it took a while to do that, and it took a lot of work on our end, but we did it because we want you guys to be happy and know that we're always working that way to make sure that you guys are happy. So with that, keep that in mind as you're making these requests and saying, oh, well, why didn't this guy get, we're a lot of times really working hard to make sure that we get those artists for you guys because we really want that diversity in the game.
Yep. I'm looking to see, is there anything else? Because I think we should go on to, next things the Gem and the Holograms will say no too. Well, I think after their movie debut, they're gonna be a little silent for a little while. Yeah, I would say let's go ahead and play our final song because we still have a giveaway to get to.
Sure.
If you have more questions for us, honestly, a lot of the questions that we've seen, I think we've answered on previous shows. But we're also happy to answer them out on the internets.
Yeah.
Drop by our Facebook page, go to our Twitter. It's all below you on the Twitch on our webpage. Direct links to all of our places. And thank you, Sam. Much appreciated, and thank you for the awesome EBow demo. I now want one. Thank you, Vanna. Oh, hi. It's Brian Pody coming in, and Anthony Martinez is back wearing a brand new T-shirt from your first segment.
Costume change.
Yeah, that
Hi,
was
everyone.
good.
And you too.
Yeah.
We're no longer twinsies.
Yeah, I had somebody look at me. This is an extremely... It says House of Guitars. You can't see because I'm hiding behind the logo. There we go. Yeah. And somebody was squinting at it from across the room. I'm like, how do you have to squint to see this T-shirt? Like, House of what? Guitars. Rochester, New York. If you ever get the chance to go to House of Guitars, it is mind-blowingly awesome.
You showed me pictures of that place.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, I want to go.
It's great. I'm looking forward to visiting my relatives in Rochester again. So I'm here, but can I just crash at your place while we go to House of Guitars?
I was going to ask you, doesn't that place have like a tunnel that leads to another section?
It does, yes. So it is literally like a 4-story house, and the first story is guitars, and the second story is amps, and then it's keyboards and drums. And
so cool.
They bought the house next door and created basically a concrete tunnel. And you go through the tunnel, and it's all signed by the famous musicians who have stopped by. And the back room is all CDs, T-shirts, merch, stuff like that. It's unbelievably amazing. I can spend a day there and not feel bad at all.
Yeah.
I bought my wah pedal from there,
cool.
as well as some other stuff. We bought a Charvette, which was Charvel's Thin Line Acoustics. From the Pody's like, yeah, I've seen those. Not the best guitar in the world, but got a good deal at the Great House of Guitars in Rochester, New York. So. Hi, and welcome to the show. Brian, thank you so much for wrestling the very irascible PC today.
The train's off the rails.
Oh, God. It's just so stupid because the last 48 hours, 72 hours, we've actually spent a lot of time up here in our streaming room going over the PC, looking at how can we fix this, and we're getting reports of this, and the chat is telling us this, and we're trying to address all those things. We're like, we're in good shape, and then everything screws up anyway because it's Thursday, and as you know, nothing works on Thursdays. The game program actually just crashed. Apropos of nothing. Gave no warning. Just went down when we were in that talk set before. It's crazy.
We broke it better.
But yeah, we broke it better than we've ever broken. But sooner or later, we will break it best.
That last song was a really good example of why we calibrate. Because the
Is that why I couldn't hear my bass very well when I was playing?
Well, yeah, the Blue Les Paul was calibrated to the Explorer bass, and then the bass was calibrated to the Blue Les Paul.
Oh, great.
So those burst buckers are loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. And that's why I heard Sam's lines very, very clearly
Oh, yes.
on that.
So calibrate your instruments.
Yeah, we always do mention this, but on the tuner there is also a calibration thing within Rocksmith 2014, and that is doing exactly what we just didn't do.
Yeah.
Because the game crashed, everything's sort of like, oh, we didn't go through the whole thing. We were just trying to keep the show rolling.
Well, they swapped cables.
They swapped cables on you. Oh, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, and that's
and
what
we didn't recalibrate after we swapped
And of
cables.
course, it was planned. So
Yes.
Yeah.
So we could talk about
good
this.
job, guys.
Right.
This is a
Yeah.
PSA.
So the calibration is to match the pickup strength and the general volume of your instrument. It calibrates it with Rocksmith 2014 so that the levels are all kind of even, and also so that it knows what to what level it should be detecting your instrument at. So yes, do calibrate especially if you swap instruments. You may have only calibrated once, and if you only have one guitar, it's something in Rocksmith 2014 that you may never have to deal with. But if you have multiple instruments like we have here in the office, like these two beautiful instruments that you have here, they're both Epiphones, are they not? This is your
They are.
personal Les Paul
This is, yeah.
This
I
is
use
your,
this for note tracking and
and General Mayhem.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
And this is now my personal bass.
No, it's not. That's the viola that lives at my desk.
I love that bass.
It's a great bass. $250. It shouldn't play as good as it does. I'll be completely honest. I'm like, it's much higher quality for the money than I ever expected.
yeah, and it's never been set up. This has never been set up, and both play extremely well.
Straight out of the box.
Yeah.
So which one of you note tracked our final Rancid song, which is Ruby Soho?
No one.
No one
tracked this
here.
song.
No one
No.
note tracked it.
Greg note tracked it.
Greg
and,
Barr, who
yeah,
is
he
now
wasn't able to make it
sniffling,
today.
sneezing, aching, coughing, stuffy head so he can rest out of the office.
Madison.
He let us know about an hour before the show. I'm not going to be able to make it, guys. I feel terrible. I got to go home sick. We're like, you have to play Ruby Soho. So Anthony Martinez stepped up and said, I will do the guitar line on this. Pody had already volunteered to do the fun bass line.
You'll notice that I'm going to be playing this chart at 30% mastery because I've only played through it once.
Right.
At 30% mastery.
Dude, you're a warm body that can
So-
hold a guitar. You win the job.
There you
That's
go.
it. You're great.
I've only played the bass chart once too, so we're in this together.
Excellent.
Nice.
So this is really, again, this is planned so that we are simulating what your Rocksmith experience is here on the other side of the screen. But, we generally play the songs at 100%, just sort of out of courtesy because these guys can do it at 100%. Naturally, the game does not automatically say, here's all the notes. In fact, Rocksmith's whole thing is dynamic difficulty. It listens to you play the song once or twice, and then it goes, okay, here's how we're going to raise or lower the difficulty based on what you're actually doing. But you can also go into our riff repeater, which is very useful for picking specific sections of songs that you want to workshop and going in and slowing the song down. Or doing multiple repetitions before it lets you get beyond like a solo or a riff that you're having some trouble with. You can also just select the whole song and select a difficulty level arbitrarily. We don't recommend this, again, because the game is listening to you and is automatically saying, I think you're about here, and most of the time it's right. But for days like this, where it's like, I've only played this song once or twice, just give me like 30% and let me see how it goes. So that's what we're going to do now. So the guitar line is going to be not nearly as complicated as you're used to seeing, not as many strum pains, I'm guessing, maybe not even complete chords. Do you know what 30% looks like? Have you tried it at 30%?
Yeah.
Or are you just sort of throwing a dart at the board going 30?
I did that during my first playthrough, which was like an hour ago.
Okay.
But yeah, you'll get a couple of two-note power chords, some single notes in there. Yeah, it's fun, and it still sounds like you're playing the song at a
Sure.
lower level, which is great.
All right.
And kudos to Greg. Great level design.
Yes, wonderful level design. He gave you the tools to replace him.
Yeah.
Thanks, Greg.
This was planned. I knew it.
Ruby Soho by Rancid, one of the 4 songs in the Rancid song pack. It's available now on all platforms. And what are we doing? Oh, yeah, we got to get the game audio. Jared is on our wheels of steel. I suppose some people were hoping we might play Maxwell Murder as well, but Shane note-tracked that. He's out on tour.
That rock star.
That rock star. So, because we were going to make him play that bass line. Speaking of riff repeater candidates.
He planned the tour around it.
So you will notice that as he's playing this at 30% difficulty, it's giving him partial chords, it's giving him, just power chord versions of full bar chords, things like that. The game will not penalize you if you know what these full chords are. You can play them. It won't stop you from playing extra notes in a chord. but it's only expecting you to do those 2 or 3 strings at a time. And it is still giving you advice on which fingers to put there. You'll notice that it's like a 3 and then a 1 and a 2. That's your fingers and with little fingerprints under them. That's to help build your fingers so that they're in the right position to play the full chords when it gives you those full chords later on when you get better. So please do keep an eye out for those visual cues. Rocksmith is trying to teach you how to play as you ramp up. Do the note trackers determine how difficult 50 versus 56 versus 60% difficulty is? Asks Grimy at Large. Yes, they do. That is actually what a large part of the note tracking is. Not only is it determining, the notes and then which strings those notes are played on and studying what the original player did on the recording and sometimes live, but yes, that is where these guys are guitar teachers and they are leveling up the song's difficulty by hand and arbitrarily choosing this has 10 levels of difficulty as you go through. Oh, this song is much more complex. This has 20 levels of difficulty. Maybe some of these only have 5 or 6, and that might change based on different passages within the song. Like a solo is likely to have more levels of difficulty, lots more levels of difficulty, than a riff or a chord progression, which is a little bit simpler in construction. So yes, if you see a good leveling up system, thank the note tracker. They did that. That's a large part of their job.
I've seen a little bit of that in forums. It's always really nice, actually. I'm like, I did that song.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to be appreciated for what you do. All those hours you slave over a hot computer.
Handmade note tracks.
Handmade note tracks, just like Mom didn't make. So it did bump you up a little bit, didn't it?
Yeah,
because you started at 30, and it looks like it got you about 45, 50 through some of the song.
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know.
Some of it's almost topped out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well done. And thank you for doing that
Rocksmith.
last-minute jump in. That's great.
My pleasure.
Hey, we have, if you don't want to say anything else, if that's okay, I would love to just go straight to the last giveaway, which is the Ernie Ball guitar pack, which you will see any second now. Yep. Going to see an Ernie Ball guitar pack. Here we go. Jared is running the wheels of steel, and he's multi-tracking. He's multitasking. He's not multi-tracking. This is what you can win, sort of. You're going to win 2 sets of Ernie Ball guitar strings, the regular Slinkies at the very popular 010 gauge, and then not actually the M Steels, but the Slinky Cobalts, which some people say they like more. It is a Cobalt wrap, and it has a louder, punchier kind of tone to the string. If you're looking for playing a lot of aggressive music and you want a string that matches, that punches a little heavier than your standard nickel-wrapped string, then this may be the string for you. You'll also get a sampler pack of Wonder Wipes, a brand new strap. I believe these are mostly silver that's left in the back in the box this time. Plus a dozen Ernie Ball medium picks, a peg winder for making your string changes so much easier. And also just 3 of our special Rocksmith picks, which we are really running out of. And I do need to order some more because I have been told it's okay to order more. I just have to get permission to spend as much money on these picks as I want, because getting picks made of diamond is very expensive. But we're putting your money to good use. So if you want to win all this stuff, all you have to do is follow what Jason Paradise tells you in our chat room. He will give you all the instructions, everything you need to do. And I will send you all that stuff if you're the winner. But you will, of course, have to tell us what your name, your address, and your phone number is. We don't use any of that information for anything other than shipping. Our mailroom needs all that information. But we can go ahead and I'll send it to you. We throw away your address and phone number afterwards. You're not going to get harassed. You're not going to get added to a marketing database. You're not going to get spam. We love you too much. We appreciate the fact that you're here every week. Thank you both, gentlemen. Thank you very much for playing on Rancid.
Thank you.
Gee, we've got more stuff next week. We will be back next week, and all of our technical problems will be solved. Won't that be great? We'll have more giveaways next week. We'll have brand new DLC. Can't tell you what the DLC is today, but there might be some hints in the forum tomorrow. I'm still working on the puzzle. We will have a puzzle of some sort of clue to give you a hint at what's coming. And if you don't make it there, that's okay. We'll give you a really strong hint on Monday on Facebook. Please feel free to reach out and check us out on Facebook and Twitter. All of our information is pretty obvious. It's either /Rocksmith or /Rocksmith Game. Or you can also look for us at Ubisoft Studio SF on both of those outlets. We will leave you with a look at the Rancid 4-pack trailer. 4 songs this week in all versions of Rocksmith 2014. All 6 platforms have this DLC right now. Please go enjoy it. Enjoy the punk. Enjoy the ska. Enjoy what they did after Operation Ivy. We'll see you next week, and thanks for tuning in. Tell all your friends that this is a better show than what we actually did today. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's that button over there. Bye, everybody. Thanks very much for the support.
Now he's gone out, he got a free, he got a coke, got a car. He's only 1 year old, he's running numbers from the bar. He's paid his people, he's getting deep in whatever he can move on, and you know that kid's a creepy. Black coat, white shoes, black hat, get laid, yeah. The boys are time bomb. Black coat, white shoes, black hat, get laid. The boys are time bomb. She's not the one coming back for you. She's not the one coming back for you. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down, you're gonna be my friend. If I fall back down, you're gonna help me back up again. If I fall back down.